So effectively, we've got lists of lists of lists going on. Those entries are collections are composed of entries which are composed in turn of content and state, say, and that content links off to maybe your specific user type of data. So what we decided to do is standardize on these systems talking to one another via this RFC, using Atom Pub over HTTP, clearly. So, as I said, we started off with a very big system. We decomposed it into some slightly smaller ones conceptually, logically. And we're now looking at our specific user's capability. And this is what it looked like. And these really are the sort of, I guess, microservices if you're talking about that. This is a specific bounded context in domain-driven design terms. This is the back of Eric Evans's fantastic book that no one ever gets to, which is a real shame. All right? It's the strategic design aspect of Eric Evans's book. That's, I think, for me, the most important part of the book. In fact, you could argue, and I have done with some people, that the first bit of it, when you're talking about aggregates and entities and value objects and these kinds of things, that's all very interesting. It's great, but it's actually solving the problem of having a really big system that we don't understand. All right? So we've had to impose order on these systems by coming up with things like all these entities and aggregate roots and value objects, whereas the back part of it, the strategic design bit, that's kind of really interesting. So our user's capability, this is composed effectively of an event queue, which has its own event store. It has some processes, some event processes, basically, and it has a user service quote with its own user store. So this is the system of records for users. And as I said, we standardize on a mechanism for these services talking with integrating with one another. And we standardize